What's up, people? You've got the Oracle there, and we are back on MTGO for a new Shadows of Innistrad Draft. That pack is quite good, at least the rare and the 3 uncommons, I guess 4 uncommons, are pretty solid. Byway Courier and Explorers are both fine, Inspector too, all those creatures that gives you clue are pretty solid. But I think they are all worse than any of the, not any, but at least the Chaplain, which is great. Inner Struggle is fine, but does not kill everything. Dance with the Devils, pretty much the same power level, but all in all, I think the 2 uncommon there are worse than the Chaplain. I think the pick is definitely between Chaplain and Soul Swallower, which can get out of hand pretty quickly in the right deck. I don't know which one is better. This is splashable, as Swallower is not. I think Chaplain is slightly better. That card is just amazing. Alright. I do like Illuminator a decent amount, even though blue is probably the weakest color in the set. Don't think that Confirm Suspicion is great at all. Pretty easy to play around. Yeah, I just don't think that thing is too great. Fiend is fine. I could build a red-white beatdown deck. Harvest Hand would fit in any deck. Pretty good with human. You know, making that a 4/2 lifelink menace is pretty solid. Then you have three decent-ish white cards. I think I like Emissary of the Sleepless the more out of these 3 white cards. I might just take Harvest Hand. It's quite solid, pretty good with human. Let me just stay in white for now without committing to anything. As Fiend and Illuminator are both fine, but yeah, I think taking the hand is completely fine. Alright, I do think that the best card of this pack is the Reaper, which is pretty solid, and you know, it's in my colors. I actually haven't tried out the Carriage to match, but I don't think it's, you know, best case scenario, you block something big, but I don't think this is working very well. Vessel is great, but I don't think it's a good enough reason to go in green. Had I taken the Soul Swallower, I would definitely pick that here, I think. Nibilis is fine. And then that pack is not so great, but I'm very happy picking Reaper of Light Moonsilver. Alright, well, that's quite interesting. I do like Apothecary Geist a decent amount, but I will not pick that over Tenacity. And there's also a Tooth Collector, which is great. The pick is definitely between the Tooth Collector and Tenacity. And I don't know, I mean, Tenacity is great, but Tooth Collector is great too. Honestly, I think most of the time I like Tooth Collector more. Even though some people think Tenacity is just busted and unbeatable, I don't think it's the case. I think it's a very good card, but probably slightly overrated right now. But since the set is quite aggressive, this kind of effect is obviously pretty great. That being said, yeah, again, I like Tooth Collector a lot, but given that I'm already in white, I'd rather just take Tenacity for now and stay in white. Even though I think I do like Tenacity less than some other people would. So I guess I could take Vessel here. Pretty solid with Tenacity. I mean, producing a lot of creature is good with that, obviously. Let me stay in mono white for now. I think my only other option would be to take the Quilled Wolf, which is probably the best card of the pack. Pretty solid 2-drop in green. Forbog Revenant and Explorers are fine, but probably worse than the Wolf. I think I'll just stay in mono white for now. I don't mind that. Alright, so there's a True Face Sensor, which I guess goes well with, you know, if I want to stay mono white and have some humans. And I think the choice would be to either take the Sensor or jump into black for Crow, which is quite solid. It also helps enabling Delirium, which is relevant for the Reaper. I've been really happy with those Crows. The card is never amazing, but never really disappointing. It's beating down in the air. I don't know, definitely between the Crow and the Sensor. I like the fact that Sensor lets me stay in white, so I think I'll go with that, but Crow is pretty solid, so I don't know. That's a fairly late skin invasion. Drone Explorers are pretty solid too. I think I like those two more than the Fox, which I thought was pretty good. I mean, it looks decent on the paper, but it has impressed me not so much. The more I played it, the more I was, well, this died to everything, this trade with anything, this is not so great. Might just take Explorers. Again, blue is not that great in this set, but pairs up pretty well with white. Skin Invasion might be better, but I think I'll go with Explorers there. Alright. Gone Missing is not too exciting. I could still pick that. Could also take the Stream in case I were to end up in some sort of bent combination with either a splash for green or blue. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna take Gone Missing. That seems unexciting but fine. Alright, Unruly Mob. Again, unexciting but fine. Qatar's Companion is not bad. Not great but not bad. I guess I'll take the Carriage. Alright. So we have some very solid white card and two, I would say, mediocre white card and a few artifact equipment. So we could go in various directions there. But if I count only my white cards and colorless that I like, because Unruly Mode has been really weak for me, and it's much worse than it was in the last Innistrad set. I still have 7 playboss, which is pretty decent. I guess 8 if you count the Witch, which can enable Delirium for the Reaper. So it's not bad, and then I have a few cards in blue. We'll see, maybe I should have taken Skin Invasion. That card is pretty solid and it was very late. That being said, red did not seem incredibly open, so I don't know. Yeah, at that point the only thing I'm sure about is that we are white. Other than that, well, things could go in various directions. I think the best card of this pack is Rabbit Bite. Last draft I played white-green beatdown, which I think is... again, it's my least favorite color combination in Limited, but I think it's just the best deck in this set. Just a bunch of good human, a bit of value through clues, and some solid removal. Yeah, just just 2 of the best color, and you just have some very good cards. There's nothing really appealing in neither blue or white, and I think I'll go with Rabbit Bite. I mean, Hunter is pretty good. Just better than the Patrol, I think. I've been less and less impressed with that card. But Rabbit Bite is just better than both, so I'll go with that. Could also splash it, I guess. It's not a bad thing to splash. Here ooh, there's a Hunter though. I could go into green more deeply. There's a Concoction and a Compulsion. A Fiery Temper, that pack is pretty sweet. There's also a Purge, which I could just take since I know that I'm white. And it's a very solid card. I think I'm just gonna go with that. It lets me stay a bit more open. I could go take the Hunter and go more deeply into green, but Hunter is probably slightly better than Purge. But Purge lets me stay in white, which I think is more important. Alright, and Bold Brute is not amazing, but probably... I mean, I think Sleep Paralysis is better, but Unbold the Brute lets me stay in, in white and not choose a second color for now, which I think I clearly appreciate, so I think I'll take that. Another Reaper. There's a Rattleshane too, which is pretty good. I think I will still take the Reaper, and we've seen quite a bit of dead weight, but black was not really open pack 1. It's pretty open there, so someone is getting rewarded. I'm not really cut because there are some sweet white cards for me anyway. And I could also end up mono white, I guess I would not mind that too much. So I guess I'll let the deck be mono white for now, and we'll see where this leads us. I need some 2-drop and 4-drop, I guess, but things are not looking bad. The power level is pretty decent. We'll see where this goes. And Ruling Mob is playable. I mean, not my favorite, especially since currently I don't have many more creatures. I guess it's pretty good with True Face Sensor, because you have 3/2 Vigilance no matter what. But yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Alright, there's no white card for me here. I mean, Survive the Night is not great, so I think I should either go with Just the Wind, which I think in a blue-white... I don't know. No, Deterrence is just better. Because you can bounce anything, and yeah. I mean, it's just better than Just the Win, unless, like, even the Madness doesn't make Just the Win better. So I think this is just the best blue card. Or I could take the best green card, which would... Nah, it's not gonna... I probably don't want another 5-drop, so it would probably be the Provisioner or the Vessel. I think Rabbit Bite is better than Explorers or Gone Missing, so I think I'll go with Provisioner and maybe go into green. Or actually Vessel is just so good. And I have two very good Delirium cards there, even though... I mean, this card is pretty good even if you don't have Delirium, so it's not really a card that you want to enable Delirium for, but if you can have Delirium with that, it's just even better. Silver Strike, not my favorite piece of removal, but I think it's still better than an Inspiring Captain most of the time. Warp Landscape be fine, but yeah, I think I like Silver Strike. At least the first one, a decent amount. Companion is fine, I guess. Ooh, another Humble the Brute. I have a lot of conditional removal, which is not the... It's not really where I want to be, but on the other hand, those removal are pretty good depending on the matchup. But my deck is looking a bit more defensive than I anticipated. I mean, Silver Strike and Humble the Brute are definitely defensive cards. Reaper is, you know, more of a late game card, so yeah. Deck is shaping up a bit more defensively than most white deck would shape up like, I guess, if that made sense. Alright, Root Out, I guess, is a sideboard option. Constable, not my favorite, but I guess playable. Well, I have two equipments. I need more creature to make Trick relevant. I don't think this is a deck in which Trick are gonna shine. But I could maybe want to splash red. Yeah, I don't think I really want a Strength of Arm given what I have. The card is fine, and I have a few equipments, but I don't think this is really a deck. I mean, I like this kind of trick in aggressive or in beatdown deck with a bunch of creature, but this looks more like a white control deck, honestly, with a higher curve, a lot of removal, and yeah, stuff like that, basically. I could use some card advantage. Yeah. Don't mind the spot where I'm at that point, it's fine. Being almost monocolor is not always, but often a good news in draft. It means that at least you are in something that's open. Alright, well, none of the white card interests me. I might just take the Hermit, which is pretty solid. And at this point, I really have incentive to go, you know, to play a bit of green, so I don't mind playing that. Could take Port Tone for, you know, to play blue and for the value. It's probably worth a bit of money, but I think Hermit is just the best option for me here. Not very exciting, but it's fine. Ooh, I'm definitely gonna take Bound there. That card is amazing. What is happening with my mouse? I'm not sure if you saw that, but the cursor was, you know, moving around while I was not doing anything. That was weird. Either way, well, Harvest Hand, Byway Courier, and traverse the Ulvenwald. I still don't really know how I should pronounce that. Ulvenwald, I guess. Be fine addition, but Bound is just amazing. Probably one of the best uncommon of the set. You know, this pacifism effect and the cannot transform thing is great. And the fact that you can move it around, that card is just so great, it's amazing. Yeah, pretty easy pick for me there, I think. Alright, so there's a puncturing light, but again, I have so much conditional removal that it's not really what I need. At that point, I need 2 drop more than anything else. I think I'm gonna go with the Provisioner, which is fine. I do not have many creatures, but some of them are humans. At least I have two other human. Provisioner is pretty sweet with Chaplain because of the lifelink thing. I guess light is better for the curve, but not really better in general for the deck. At least with light and Humble the Brute, I pretty much have answer to anything. I need some creatures though. It's definitely an interesting pick. I think I will still go with Puncturing Light. Alright, well that pack does not have match for us, unfortunately. The best card is the Scholar, which is pretty great. I really don't want to play Loam Dryad or Constable. Watcher is fine, but I have just enough 5-drop. I think I'm just gonna pick the Choke Estuary for... because I want to play that... I might want to play that in Constructed. And I don't really think, like... Weaker Witch and Watcher be fine, but I have so many 5 and 3 drop that I don't really want those. I want just 2 drop and 4 drop. And you know, this is mostly because I want to play that more than anything else. But either way, I don't think I would have played 2 Witch or a Spider in this deck. I think I will pick my Drifter over a second Puncturing Light. And that's a fine 2-drop to add to the deck. Ooh, that's a very late enter. And that's a great addition to the deck. Amazing. I think we passed something like 6 deadweight. So I guess we could have gone black maybe. I don't know. But that's a very late enter. And that card is amazing. That's great. That's very... Ooh, a Skinner? That's amazing. Especially since I will be able to have Delirium in this deck. And that's also a human. That's great. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that match from the last few picks. Like Drifter was fine, but then Enter into Skinner, that was amazing. That's a very late pour of the pages, but Vessel is great, especially now that I took the Skinner. I even have more incentive to try to reach that Delirium, so it's pretty great. This is 23, and I think it's gonna be my 23. It's slightly light on creature, but I think it's not too bad. And I guess Strength of Arm is something I could want, maybe. Not really, though. It's fine, but pretty unappealing. I don't have a lot of creatures. Don't like playing tricks and equipment and aura when I don't have a lot of creatures. Guess I'll still pick that. Ooh, Harvesting is solid though. I guess I'll take the skill. This could be an option in some matchups. Biting Rain could be an issue. Stoic Builder, since it's a human and since I do have 2 Vessel, is probably decent in this deck actually. It's not a card that I like, but in this current setup it might be pretty solid. So I might just go with that. It's also pretty good with Purge because you often sacrifice a land. And it's pretty good to equip Sensor on that because you get a 4/4 Vigilance out of the deal. Alright, I'm probably cutting a... I kind of want to keep as many creatures as possible. Especially since I have 2 equipment. I guess 3. Those are not really equipment, it's slightly different, I guess. Weaker Witch is only good for the Delirium thing, but I think this made them better than Companion. I think I like Builder more than Companion in this deck. I think I'm gonna cut a Companion. And can I afford to play 16 land with this curve and 2 Vessel? And a Stoic Builder. Slightly risky, but I think I will do that. First, I think this deck is gonna be really in trouble if I'm flooding out. I don't have that many card advantage. I guess Humble the Brute is card advantage. It's interesting. Can I afford to play 16 lands here? Vessel can get you land if needed. It's not really something like a giant growth though. My curve is pretty stacked up on 3, and there's really nothing I want to cut. Really nothing. I could cut the Witch, but it's pretty good at enabling Delirium. But I guess I have 3 other artifacts, 2 enchantment. I got 3 enchantment. A bunch of instant, at least 5, and 2 sorceries. And yeah, this should put. Maybe I cut the Witch. I don't think I need that. I need that too much actually. 11 creature with a True Face Sensor is slightly light. I'd like to have more creature when I'm playing equipment, but Unruly Mob looks pretty bad in this deck. Don't really want another companion. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Probably not 11-6, most likely 10-7 I think is fine. Yeah. That sounds pretty good to me. I like the curve, I like the deck. I'm slightly worried that I'm only playing 11 creature, which is a bit light. I guess the Vessel makes it 12, and then those will often fetch a creature, so it might be a bit more like 14 actually. So it's not that bad. But then you have those 2 that will often become equipment, so I'm slightly light on creature, but I think the power level is pretty solid, so I like that. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the draft. If you did, feel free to leave a like or subscribe, it's really appreciated. And I see you guys in a few minutes for round 1. Thank you for watching.